When I first got started producing music, I had no idea what chords were, and so there were no chords in any of my songs. But when I figured out how to start creating chords, that revolutionized my music production and made my songs sound 10 times better and way more professional. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through a beginner's guide on how to go about creating interesting chords and chord progressions very simply and easily, even if you don't know any music theory. So if you're new to music production and you don't know a ton of music theory, one thing that can be very helpful is ghost notes. I'm going to show you how to create ghost notes really simply and easily inside of Logic Pro. This is where you actually see in the piano roll all the different notes that are in your scale, so you can quickly and easily know what notes are going to sound good and what notes are not going to sound good. The only problem is here in Logic Pro, there is no technical way to do ghost notes. So I'll show you 3 different workarounds, so you're not really going to miss them in the fact that this feature isn't really here, although that would be nice, Apple, if you added that. So here we are in Logic Pro. And one thing we're going to do is just grab this little arrow here and just extend our range here, 4 bars, just because we want to be able to start on the 1, and we're going to create our ghost notes over here that we're going to drag all the way across. And so what we're going to do is create a MIDI region. I am writing a song on the key of F major right now, so I'm going to do all the notes in the key of F major. So what we do is we come into here and we go down to like the lowest possible notes we'd be playing in this scale. Let's grab our pencil tool and we're just going to draw in all the notes in this scale. So you can look this up to know what are the notes ahead of time. And there we go. And I'm just going to turn the velocity way down, so this is kind of a color that we're not really going to see. And then we just want to copy all these up an octave, and we're just going to keep doing this all the way up the scale until we kind of get to the top of the range that we would be writing music in. That's pretty good. And actually we don't need all this entire range. We can just go like so, and then we can just hit L on this, and it's going to loop it all the way across. So now, right, if we're going to create our chord progression here, 4 bars, what we can do is highlight both of these and then click on the bottom one. And now we're going to see kind of grayed out or ghosted out all the notes in our scale. So now we can know what notes are going to sound good. Hey, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to this video's sponsor, which is LANDR, and I've absolutely been loving their studio plan, which has been a game changer for me and my workflow. If you're making music and you want an easier way to handle mastering, distributions, where you get all your plugins, where you get all your samples, and collaboration all in one place, and you get access to the absolute best music distributor on the market, which gives you unlimited uploads to over 150 platforms. You keep 100% of your royalties, and there's no hidden fees like you have with DistroKid and some of these other music distributors. So if you want to spend less time dealing with technical stuff and actually save money by having just one subscription for all of your music creation, mixing, mastering, and distribution needs, then definitely check out LANDR Studio, and you can get 20% off when you use my link in the description below. So definitely check that out. Now let's get back to the video. So that's one way to use ghost notes. Another simple thing you can do is pay attention to the scale quantize feature here in the piano roll. So let me say I was writing chords in the key of C. Let's just say I'm doing C, G, A minor, F. And let's say I don't even have the ghost notes on. So it's just something like this. Let's say I had a note off like that. One thing we can do is we can grab all of our chords. We want to select our scale. So we're using major and we are using F. And then we can just hit the Q, or kind of already did it. It's quantized it. So now this note was moved correctly. And we can turn snap to scale. Watch what happens when we do that. Select everything, quantize. Boom, moves it. But now also, if I wanted to write new notes, see, it doesn't let me put a note here. I can do here. I can't do B. It automatically pops up. So when you have snap to scale, you can does not allow you to write any notes that are not in that scale. So that's kind of another easy tool. And one final thing I like to use, right, if you don't have the scales memorized, is just use this transposer tool. You can pull it up on any MIDI track. If you're using an audio track, you can use the pitch correction tool, like so. And then you just turn these off, right, because you don't want them actually doing anything. And then you select your scale. So we're doing F major, and we're not doing chromatic, we're doing the major scale. So now you see, just like that, all the notes that are in your scale, so you can have that up while you are writing or performing, and you know all of the notes that are going to be in that track. So now if you don't know what notes are in a scale, now you know what you're working with, what your tools are, basically what your range is, what notes you can use to craft your chord progressions. So that's a big first step. The next step is to create just some basic chords called triads, which are just chords that are made up of 3 different notes, as you can probably infer from the prefix tri. But first, it can be helpful to know what the numbers are of each chord, right? Or each note. Key of C, whatever key you're working with, C, F, A, whatever, the actual letter that corresponds with that scale is the root. So for example, this is the C major scale. So C is considered the root note or the 1 chord. So you start with the root, and that's the number 1. So then D would be 2, E, 3, F, 4, and so on, 5, 6, 7. And so every scale is basically made up of only 7 notes, which is pretty crazy, right? You see this huge keyboard or this huge piano roll with all these notes. You really just, you know, it's 12 notes per octave, but even within those octaves, you're not using all the notes. Typically, you're using only around 7, depending on the scale. So that really simplifies it. Isn't that crazy? Like all music is made with it's only made up of like 7 notes per song. And so to create a triad, basic triad in the major chord, you are just using the 1, 3, and 5 notes. So in this case, it'd be C, 1, 2, E is 3, 4, 5 is G. So we can pick any number of these. Like we could do 1, 3, 5, 4, or something, chord progression. So we're going to use a really common one to start with, which is so 1, 5, 6, 4. So just a single note, it sounds like this. I'm going to speed up this tempo just so we're not here all day. And again, the triad is the 1, 3, 5. So we can count up 3, but we want to count up notes in the scale. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if you just want to count total notes, you just count up 7 from the root for the top, and then for the third, you just count up 4 for a major chord or 3 for a minor chord. So if this is major, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Since we're in C major, we won't put it there. If this was a minor, we just put it down here, which it's not letting me do. I'm going to snap the scale. So we turn that down, and now that's a minor chord. So basically, the difference between majors and minors is a major chord, you count up 4 from the root note. Major, you count up 3. So now we got this. So pretty cool. This is like the chord progression used in that Axis of Awesome video where you see all the different songs created in this chord progression, but it does sound a little bland, and so there's things we can do to spice this up. One simple thing is to add the bass note. So we can just grab this and drop it down an octave. A little bit more interesting. Another thing that you can do is you can add sevenths. So again, going back to the numbering, and C, you're just counting the 7th note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is B in this case. So go ahead and add that there. Personally, I don't think that sounds very good as a 7th chord. Let's try something else. So we got A here. So down would be G would be the 7th. Not bad. So you can kind of figure out, test it out and see if you like where sevenths sound good. Personally, I don't like the way 7th chords sound at all. I almost never use them. Something we can do is create suspended chords. This is really cool, where you just take the middle note or the third, and you just move it up or down. If you move it up, it becomes a suspended 4th. If you move it down, it becomes a suspended 2nd. So you can see like the sus2 or sus4. If it's like written out, or you can simply just add the second note. Typically, you can get away with adding the second note to any chord and it sounds good. This would be called add to if you're writing it down. And it sounds more or less okay. Right, depending on your chord progression, you may or may not want to do that. So let's try suspended now. Let's try moving this up. And this is kind of what, personally, the way kind of music I like to make. This is something I like to see, is when a note carries on through the entire chord progression. Also is also known as a pedal tone, and it can really help add tension and cohesiveness to your chords. So kind of interesting. Another trick is inversions. So right, if that's where you just take a note and you move it up or down an octave. So this is a little sticking out a little bit. So if I move this down, Shift, Option, down arrow. Again, now we got another note share between chords, and all the notes are closer together, which can create a cool sound. More cohesive sound. Another thing that a lot of producers like to do is they'll take the middle note and they'll just move them up an octave. Definitely gives them more air, more width. I think, and if we had it as we had it before, that was suspended, it would be like this. And so, again, we can look for a place to add a pedal tone. There's already two notes repeating here, so we could add a pedal tone here like that. And we could even add a second one. So this is the root note carried on all the way through. So if we don't like that, something else we could do is the fifth often sounds pretty good. Basically, the first and the fifth sound pretty good across all your chords. That's something else we could do. All right, so let's try and create some kind of cool chord progression here. So we'll do key of F. So we'll do 1. So 1, 5, 4, 5, and so let's make these sound more interesting. First we got the root note. We could try moving this up. And down. Not really liking the sound of any of those, so we can move this one up. No. That sounds pretty good, actually. Let's invert this. Move that up. That's kind of cool. And we could try adding the 1 and the 5 that we talked about. So F is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and C. Could also invert that. Okay, this one doesn't sound quite right. We got a C, F, G. What if we pop? Oh no, let's do them. Another G. So that's kind of a pretty cool chord progression, right? Got some rhythm to it, got some movement to it, and we got some nice, cool, lush chords here. Right, we got this little guy joining us. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Microphone. Yes. So wait, I was already starting to hear something. So this is how you start getting ideas for songs, right? You get some cool chords, and then you start getting different ideas once you got those chords written. Actually, since I made this video, I've actually gone ahead and turned that chord progression into a full song. Here's what it sounds like. Pro, if you need more help creating and finishing pro quality songs from home, be sure to grab my producer pack in the description below. It's completely free, and it gives you templates, presets, samples, and checklists that help you know exactly what to do to produce professional quality music from home quickly. So check it out, completely free in the description below. Lots of goodies in there. Now, if you want to watch me create an entire song from scratch, then check out my video on the screen right now, and I'll walk you through my entire process. So see you over there.